Hello, 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 and welcome to our Friday night D&D stream in the Iron Kingdoms. Welcome back for anybody who's been with us before, and welcome in for those first-time viewers. It's lovely to have you here. We hope you enjoy the stream. We don't do a whole lot of chat participation as we focus on the game, but feel free to leave comments and whatnot, and we'll get to them if we can. I will give a little rundown of the previous session shortly, but Tom, have we got any nerdy news?
Nerdy news is that tomorrow at Nerdy, Saturday the 7th of August, we have the amazing So Pizza coming again to make delicious pizzas for us. This time they promised to bring more pizza so that they will actually have enough pizza for the event that they were originally coming to do pizza for, which they actually ran out of before the event started last time. So this time they're gonna bring more pizza, and yeah, we're expecting a really good fun day. So even though we are also expecting lots of heavy weather, so we'll see how we get on. In terms of other nerdy news, the Two Can Play at That Game stream is taking a little bit of a backseat, a little bit of a break over the summer, pending a relaunch due to us having three children. And summer holidays being sort of a busy time where bedtime is a little bit less, a little bit more flexible. So we'll be Two Can Play That Game will be returning with a brand new shiny table and other exciting things in the next few weeks. We just gotta work out how we're doing it, but we will get it up and running again. And other than that, I think that's it. Looking forward to a nice night of D&D.
Awesome. That's the draw for the Monstrous Makings miniatures. Should we do that tomorrow night then? Should we go live somewhere tomorrow night? When we'll do that live, and we'll do that live on Facebook tomorrow. I think that's probably the best place to do it. Yeah, we'll do a Facebook live post for that. Cool. We'll do it from behind the bar. We will indeed. It's me and Tom behind the bar tomorrow night. So it is. And harass us. Yeah. That's a nice way of putting it, I think. Yeah. Awesome. So, last session, unfortunately Jace couldn't make it, so we'll give a recap of what happened. And unfortunately, we all send our best wishes to the other Tom, who is playing Sebastian. He had appendicitis and is currently resting up in hospital, having just had his appendix removed. So, best wishes to him and his recovery, but he unfortunately won't be joining us tonight because he's a slacker and can't get it working in the hospital.
That's the one.
Yeah, but also if there's anything good that's come from all of this is that we've all been reminded of that amazing scene from The Simpsons where they say, "This man's appendix is about to explode," and then they cut it out and throw it, and then it blows up like a grenade, and that's exactly how I picture it all happened with Tom today, and that just took out a bus.
So, recap from last session. We finished up previously where the group had reclaimed the hammer called Dutius from Kalassa, and as they got back to their hideout, they heard various rumours and talk about the city where most of the citizens of the city weren't happy with the state of things, and people were going to be trying to leave and all sorts of things like that. As they were coming back, they bumped into Gunnar Waddock and were introduced to his brother, who appeared to be having wagon trouble. A large tarp covering their cargo, but the wagon had thrown a wheel. Not really having time to talk. I apologise if I seem distracted. I seem to have this one fly that loves my computer screens and my desk, and it lands on me as well. I just can't seem to get rid of the thing, so I apologise if I end up a little bit distracted.
Chris, I bought an electronic zapper like a bat, and trust me, it's the most fun you can have in the house with flies. Honestly, I've chased them all over the place. Well worth getting.
Don't tempt me. I've got kids.
Works on kids as well.
Don't tell me that. So the group then went to bed for the night, rested up after their adventures in the Undercity, and the following morning, around the breakfast table, they were greeted by Alexia in their house, who nobody had spotted coming. where they had a bit of a conversation and eventually agreed to tell Alexia where the Witchfire sword was buried, so that she could reclaim it, because she's the only friendly person currently capable of carrying it any great distance. Any of the rest of the party aren't strong enough to resist its lure, and it would very negatively affect them for even carrying it, let alone wielding it. So the party was convinced to let Alexia reclaim it and then meet them at the Tomb of the Lost Souls. From there they went to see Father Dumas, where he told them he'd found maps that suggested that the Tomb of the Lost Souls was in a mountain range not too far from Corvus. Bit of a trek, but it's not that bad. And as the group were leaving Captain Kurgan's to make preparations to leave, they stepped out the door and saw a commotion on the docks. Gunnar Waddock and his brother had unloaded their wagon, which was still where it was, onto a boat, which you can see in the picture here. On this boat was one half of the cargo covered in the tarpaulin, and hanging from the crane was the other half of the tarpaulin. The City Watch were asking to inspect their cargo. The brothers were having a bit of a no thank you, and a scuffle broke out. The characters joined in, took the side of Gunnar Waddock, fortunately, and after a bit of a fight, dealt with the watch. During the course of that fight, one of the watchmen, turns out to be a watchwoman, had turned sides and fought for you guys against the rest of the watch. Unfortunately, the bundle of cargo that was suspended by the crane got knocked into the river, and it very swiftly sunk to the bottom. But in doing so, it did reveal itself to be a steamjack. And the party have since found out that the other half of the cargo was a second steamjack. The group have got onto the boat. They've been welcomed by Waddock Gunnar and his brother Rorgren, and it turns out the watch constable that turned turncoat on her fellows is their niece Megan. The group had a bit of a conversation whilst they were steaming away from the harbour, away from the docks, to get away from the City Watch, and they've managed to convince Rorgren grudgingly to entertain the idea of borrowing his steamjack to wield the hammer that they can just about carry. I mean, Solix can just about carry it on his own, but he's got no hope of actually wielding it. So to do so, they needed something bigger. They've convinced Rorgren to entertain the idea of it, and they are currently steaming out of the city on the boat without the hammer, because that's at their safe house. And that is where we rejoin. Party, you are on the boat, you are with Waddock, Rorgren and Megan, and what are you going to do? They have said they're not turning around. They can't turn around and head back to the docks, otherwise they will be arrested and their boat will be taken off their hands. What are you going to do?
So that's just let me just clarify. We're on a boat. We're on a boat. The thing that we need is very heavy. I can't carry it. A steamjack can carry it. I can't wield it. None of us can wield it. It's currently 2 miles away, in a safe house, or a mile away, or whatever, in the safe house, and we can't turn around. But we are on the way to where we need to go, but without got it. It's like trying to get into a car, but you haven't got your keys. It's we need the thing to do the thing. We haven't got the thing. So what do we do?
Are we able to?
There?
Nope. Go on, talk.
Am I there?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I was hidden in Solix's backpack all this time.
Yeah.
You were having a nap.
Right.
You got some bullets before, by the way.
Oh, winner. How many?
They've already been added to your sheet.
Yeah.
Oh. I've ever told you I love you, Chris.
You and I have to discuss about a pistol in a bit. By the way.
Oh.
But let's figure this out first. Right, are we able to stop the boat a little bit further out, and we'll wander back in, and if they're willing to wait for us, and we'll come back with the cart?
Yeah. So if you broach that idea with Waddock, and he will quite happily pull over once they're out of sight of the city to allow you guys to head back into the city to reclaim anything else you need. They realise it was a bit of a last minute, very snap decision to jump on board. They're very grateful for the help, but they'll happily pull over somewhere safe.
And then will we ride in a lifeboat?
Well, we'll head back
Or
into
back in, or he'll pull over, or they'll pull over on a coast, and we'll then walk back into the city.
There are, as you noticed when you went out the north of the city to the temple in the woods, you noticed there were mini docks. I mean, the easiest thing to describe them as now that when you look down the Severn in Shrewsbury, you've got fishing spots where it's basically it's almost like a pallet on stilts. You've got things a little bit bigger than that, but you've got a few of them dotted for the first couple of miles out of the city, so that people can pull up their boats outside. The city.
Hop out.
Yeah.
Like boat parking spaces.
Yeah. Not like long-term parking.
Short stay.
Yeah, short stay.
Are they,
loading only.
Are they willing to wait for us while we go and get it and come back?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They've said they'll wait.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's get them to stop. We'll head back into the city. We've done it a million times at this point. I'm pretty sure we should be able to figure our way in there.
I mean, a million might be stretching it a bit, but...
twice, but still.
100% success rate.
Yeah. That's true. I'll give you that.
And then, but this time we've got to wheel a cart out of the city with a religious hammer in it. That tarpaulin is the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, because tarpaulin is famous for hiding all magical essences.
If Tuck and I ride on the cart, we're basically going to be ignored by everyone. We go sort of unnoticed, being gobbers. So we might be the best two to ride the cart. What do you think?
I mean, yeah.
Well, we have our beneath notice thing, don't we?
I mean,
yes. I'll point out before you guys plan too far ahead. The last time you came into the city, they were searching for heavily armed or armoured individuals, or people out of the ordinary. Now, knowing that where the trouble is going to be is outside the city, you could quite easily leave most of your belongings and travel into the city fairly incognito without your heavy plate and things like that. At which point, Solix could very easily look like just a labourer pulling the cart, those kinds of things. So you don't have to worry about taking all your gear in with you, because it'll be outside the city where you need it, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
We'll do what the DM just said.
The voice from up above somewhere. Okay, we'll do that.
Hold on, lads. I've had an idea. If I take off my plate mail, I will look like a regular labourer, and I can pull the cart.
That's genius. Genius.
I'll take my armour off, and I'll look a little less inconspicuous too, Solix. Genius.
No one's going to notice me. I'll stay as I am.
But isn't it funny that it's always like the last thing we go to, because we've spent such a long time getting our armour.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it off. I like it. So no, it's definitely the right thing to do, though.
Yeah,
It's
Ingo
one of
will
those-
begrudgingly take it off.
It's one of those things in D&D, though. Yeah, you don't think about taking your armor off to do things. There was one campaign I played in where I kind of had to, because if you walk down a corridor, you slowly get hotter and hotter and hotter until you are cooked inside your armor. So I had to take off
that's
my
bad.
entire suit of armor of half plate, bundled it on my shield, and then pushed my shield along the floor. It's like, but you don't think about that element of it. It's definitely something else that.
I need the protection. And no other reason.
So we have a human, a trollkin, and 2 gobbers walk into a city.
Sounds like a joke, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, just look at you. It really is. Are you? So you're dressing in traveller's clothes, walking back into the city.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you taking any weaponry with you?
Daggers.
I'll have my guns stashed.
Both guns, your
That-
rifle included.
Yeah.
So they're stopping heavily armed people.
Yeah, they're taking fire. So when you first came into the city, they were taking firearms and they were taking swords,
Yeah.
and they were stopping and searching people who could pose a threat, essentially.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take anything with me. I'm going to go fists.
Okay.
Ingo will leave all of his gear, but take the most dangerous weapon of all, and that's his bagpipes.
Okay.
I'm going to shove some paper in the end of my rifle. Because then, if anybody looks, I'll just go, it's broken. I'm just coming here to try and get it mended at a workshop.
Okay. Are you right there with that sun, Jace?
Yeah, it's that big yellow thing in the sky. I'm not used to it. It's alright. It's literally just about to go under the building, so give it 5 minutes. It'll be fine.
Under your building. That's pretty scary, mate. You'll be okay.
Well, the sun sets a little bit earlier if I didn't have the big offices opposite. As I said, I've got like
It's
a
a
4-inch gap. I've got a 4-inch gap between the bottom of the blind
Right,
and the
Jace.
top of the offices. So I'll be fine.
Okay. So making your way back in, Gobber carrying a rifle, Arwin just with daggers hidden away on your person, and Ingo and Solix. Ingo, are you playing on the way in, or are you just carrying?
Just got done.
Okay.
If anyone asks, I'm coming to play.
Okay. You are stopped at the gate. Your Gobber obviously has a rifle. I'm afraid I can't let you in here with that.
It's alright. It doesn't work. You can see by the paper hanging out the end. I'm just here to try and get a workshop so I can just like do it up. It was a family heirloom passed down from my grandfather. It's more sentimental than practical reasons I've got it. If you saw me shoot, you wouldn't believe I've ever held a gun before in my life.
I'm afraid I still can't let it inside the city, especially if you're planning on fixing it up, because then
No, I mean fixing it up. I don't want it to work. It's knackered. I just want to use a workshop because I'm an engraver, so I just want to do some engraving onto it.
So it's decommissioned. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work now.
Display piece.
Yeah,
He looks puzzled at you. Show me. Prove it ain't gonna work.
All right then. So I give him it with nothing in there because I haven't got it loaded.
So he goes to take a round from his bandolier and put it in.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, if you want to fire it, that's fine, but it'd be your head is on the block. I've never fired it. It never worked in my eyes.
So
I mean, do you want to explain to your seniors why you're firing a gun?
Well, I mean, with a watch, we're allowed firearms, but are you telling me it's going to be dangerous to fire it?
Well, it might be. It might be knackered and it might blow up and take your hand off. I don't know.
Give me deception.
I'm good at deception and all. Come on.
Oh no!
Sugar.
It's alright. It's alright. I don't need this gun. I've got 6,000 gold.
First
It's fine.
roll of the night.
I'm afraid I don't
Quality.
believe you. He snaps the breech shut, aims it out into the outside the city, and pulls the trigger, and the shot goes off flawlessly, as you knew it would.
I fake a jump. Dude,
I'm going to
You
scream
know it,
and run,
bloody hell, it
scream
works,
and run away.
what did you do to fix it? Tell me.
Can I do a load of that? Like, just make it seem like a bunch of rifle shots are going off, and just be like, "Sorry, that's just me messing with you."
Okay.
Harmless sensory effects.
Good try.
Give me.
Solix was just going to yell, was just going to pretend that he'd sneezed, but I think that's probably a much better idea.
Give me deception again with that then to convince him that it's.
Am I giving him a deception or?
Yes, please.
Please don't roll a 1.
Oh god, I rolled a 1! We had +6 and +4 on deceptions. How did we both roll a 1?
You both critically failed.
Right,
Oh.
I'm. You're trying to pull me leg. I'm not having any of it. You may have fooled Watson over there, but not me. This rifle stays with me. Any more funny business, and you'll be staying with me as well.
Can
In
I
the
come
cells.
collect it later on then?
Huh?
Can I collect it on the way out then?
What? After lying to me about it?
Yeah, but we're already here for a day. We're going back home. What happens if I come across a wolf?
Well, that's your tough luck.
So your death is good. My death's going to be on your conscience.
Well, would you like it to be on your on my conscience now?
What do you mean? Is that a threat?
Too right, it's a threat. You've been lying to the watch, trying to sneak in with firearms.
Oh,
I
there's
suggest you
worse
move. I
crimes.
suggest you move along before you say something you're really going to regret.
Oh, all right then. Come on, chaps.
You
Let's go.
don't, you don't think we should flash our lure dogs' IDs, do you?
No, well,
They
no.
really don't think that that's anything, these guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I'll get it back sometime.
Okay.
Where do they put it?
He holds on to it.
I feel like I have to back up my fellow gobber here. So, I mean, I'm wondering whether to go and pick his pockets and at least get enough money so he can buy a replacement gun.
No, it's fine. I've got loads of money.
It's
And
not
I've got
about
a
it.
pistol.
It's principle, mate. Principle.
It's fine.
You sure?
I mean, technically, I've got 2 rifles, but I've said I only brought 1 in.
Yeah, I mean you've still got a military rifle in your stash, haven't you?
Yeah. And
I'm so tempted to pick his pockets, and then I've seen the 2 nat ones happen, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
this is not out there.
So
I tell you what,
you're
I'll leave it to fate. How about this? I'll roll a 1d6, and if it's higher than a 3, I'll pick his pocket. No,
Okay.
4,
walk
5,
away.
or 6. We're picking a bucket.
No,
It's 2.
it's a 2. Common sense has prevailed.
what you mean? Owen has sense.
No, the dice. Owen's got no
Ah,
sense.
right. Okay.
The dice has sense, yeah.
Can I ask him what his name is before we head into, just in case we find someone who lets us sort it out, and I need to look for you.
Sergeant Smith.
Thank you.
Insight check. I want to get my gun back. If this is a nat 20, I will just delete the computer. No, that'll do. Next.
What?
Oh dear. I mean,
What is this
we don't
game?
really want combat tonight, do we? The way you guys
Can
are
I-
rolling.
Can I have a night off
Nice to
again?
everybody.
Can I have another night off? I'm off. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.
You guys are into the city. Did you bring your Mage Luck with you, Jace?
Yes, that
Yeah.
was smuggled in.
Okay. You're in.
Right
Alright,
then.
let's get there and get out, I guess. So
Okay.
head straight to the
Yep.
hideout.
Head straight to the hideout.
How are you disguising the 16-foot long hammer on the 10-foot long cart?
Underneath all the rubble we found last time.
The timbers and the joists and whatnot that you pinched before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same disguise. Cool. What's going to be a good roll to see how well you disguise that?
What about if we put a tarp over the top, catch some rats, and put a piece of rotten meat in there with some rats, and then if anyone looks under the tarp, they'll get distracted by the rats rather than, investigating too deeply.
You saying that, I'll just make some random image and be like, oh, I'll just do this.
Okay, so not so much fun as catching rats, but okay.
You just wanted to catch rats, did you?
It's
you
like
can
the-
do that if you want.
It was like the old days. That's what we do as young gobbers. We don't have a lot of money, and we're not allowed into sort of nice places. So we tend to catch rats, and tie dogs to their tail, and then watch them trying to get away. It's quite funny.
Okay.
Is that young Arwen or is that young Mark? Because
It's Arwen. No.
I'm not convinced.
No, I think Mark would have done that as a youngster in the mean streets of the West Midlands.
I tell you, if you've ever seen a pile of hay moved, there can be 100 rats under it. I tell you, you need good dogs to take them out. All part of country life, my old pet wolves.
Right then.
Right.
So what are we... I'm opening to the floor here because I need something... There's no, disguise skill, or... It's not really stealth.
How about performance?
Oh yeah, I can do performance.
Yeah, it's a show we're putting on, isn't it?
It is in the moment when you're doing it, but you're creating this setup in the cart. I don't know, just does it need a roll? I just don't suppose it does it? Really?
I think you should trust that we are very good at it, but if you'd like me to be intimidating in my presence, so that people don't come up and ask us what's going on because I just look grumpy, I can have a go at that.
Again, it's probably something that you can do if it comes up.
Yeah, if it comes up.
But yeah, thinking back on it now, I don't suppose there is a particular role to make to create your setup. It's probably just something that you can do. So you are wheeling this cart back out. Solix is pulling it, and Arwen and Tok, are you riding on top as discussed before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ingo, how are you presenting yourself on the way back out?
I know what quite a high member of the watch would look like, don't I? Because we've been around them enough and been attacked by them all the time.
You've seen Captain Hellstrom, you've seen sergeants, and you've seen constables.
What's above a sergeant?
Would be a lieutenant. You've not actually met one of them.
Okay. I don't know what a lieutenant looks like, so I'm not going to try this. Never mind. I'm just going to be me and walk alongside the cart.
Okay. As you are making your way out of the city, you out the same gate, but it's been an hour or so. The watch appears to have changed, or at the very least, the watchman you encountered on your way in is no longer there. But as you're heading out, the guards stop you. Goods inspection. Anybody with covered wagons? Need to see what you're taking out of the city. Throw back that tarp and show us what's underneath.
Ingo, you're on.
Sorry, I was sorting my cat out. It's just a load of wood. You can kind of see it poking out a bit there. It's the tarps just to make sure it doesn't all fall out.
Well, you've got no trouble throwing the title back and showing me then, will you?
Not at all.
Tell me if you want to shoot him. Same guy.
Different guy.
I just gotta read one of my spells. Hold on a second, mate. Just wait there.
just hang on. Let me.
Do you not think they'll notice you doing all this and blah 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 blah?
Does depend on what components the spell needs. To be fair,
Spell casting isn't really a quite subtle art, is it?
The one I'm looking at is VS.
So that would be verbal and somatic, which for a bard, I guess would mean you play your instrument, don't you? Because your music is your magic. That's how it works for a bard. So,
I've been a gay minstrel for many years.
Is he a human? Yeah, in the watch.
Yes.
Solix has put down the cart, obviously, as being stopped, and then has deliberately stood quite close to him and just started stretching, sort of quite tall, quite near to him. He's sort of stretching out and, being ridiculously muscular, just going, oh, making sort of uncomfortable grunting near the near the man.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check to see what kind of effect that has.
Was it with advantage with his arms up? And a BO?
My
god.
It's not gone well.
That's four
I think roll 20 is broken.
That's 4 rolls and 4 nat ones.
That just seems really, really, really unlucky.
It really does. Let me roll something just to see if it's just you guys or...
It doesn't seem...
The DM's going to roll a natural 20 now, you watch.
It seems wildly unlikely that we would all roll natural ones.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll attack with Huzzah, and if that does more than 1 damage, we know something's going wrong.
I know.
Well, roll the
right.
6, so.
It's just, I would say what are the odds, but actually it's easy to calculate the odds. It's just a long shot.
160,000 to 1, I think.
There we go.
Steady.
Yeah, 160,000 to 1.
Right.
We should, everybody, buy lotto tickets. Okay?
I just have.
Today's the day.
If we do it again, it's going to be 3.2 million to 1.
I mean, to be fair, if you'd have rolled 4 nat 20s, I'd say, yeah, buy a lottery ticket. With 4 nat 1s, I'd say, don't bother.
Well, it's got a yin and yang, that's what I'm thinking. It's got to balance up, hasn't it?
I'm going to, as Solix is looking very intimidating, but hold on, mate, I've just got have you heard this song? And just try and hit him with a charm person.
Okay.
It went horribly wrong last time, but...
Wisdom save.
Everything's gone badly so far, though, so I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm just going to take my shoes off and wave my socks under their nose.
What is going on?
I mean, if we discount the ones we rolled just to check the system, yeah, that's 5 nat 1s in a row in session time. I mean, that's insane.
Unbelievable.
I can't wait for some combat later to see what happens.
All nat 20s.
To be fair,
It wants to be.
has anyone not rolled yet? Mark, you're the only one who hasn't rolled, aren't you?
Do you want me to do a test?
No, don't do it. Because as you see, the tests worked fine. He is under your spell.
He's just gonna be like, yeah, it's just wood, mate. I don't think you can see it poking out. You've seen us come through before, haven't you?
This is not the card you're looking for.
Yeah, please carry on through.
Cheers, man. Say to Smith.
See if the gun's still there. If he's under your charm.
You haven't seen Smith didn't leave a gun for us, did he? It's
No, but I did see him preening over a nice shiny rifle. Took it with him. You see, yeah, I think he took it with him.
Okay.
I know where he lives.
Okay. Do you know where he lives? Because we've got to get this gun. It's an antique of a friend's recently deceased father, and we're getting it back. And he said, "Oh, I can't let you into the city with it." And we're like, "Oh, it's fair, but we're going to come get it later." And he was like, "Okay." And now look, I'm talking to you.
I think you've been had, lads. Sergeant Smith, he's as bent as they come. He's probably just half-inched it himself. Sorry.
Where does he live?
I don't know off the top of my head, actually. I don't normally hang around with him on opposite shifts.
Okay, so is he on the next shift after this one? Is it you swap with him?
No, he's just got off shift. He won't be back on until at least tomorrow now.
Okay, we'll come back and find him tomorrow. Thanks for letting us through. At least we know when he's back, Tog.
Yeah, I mean, if I see him, I'll kneecap him, but I mean, if it needs to be, I'll just buy another gun.
That reminds me, when we get on the boat, remember I need to talk to you about a gun.
Okay.
Okay, you guys are out of the town with the hammer and your handcart, and you make your way to the boat. At which point, Waddock and Rorgren are a bit sort of awestruck by this 16-foot long, 400-pound hammer that you produce from the handcart, and Rorgren sort of shows a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's just gone completely blank. An understanding of why you might need a steam jack for your endeavours. But the conversation, the subject is tabled for now, and you guys are on your way on the river. So, where is the river? There is the river.
Get ready, Tommy's going to move the boat and everything.
I'm so excited for this every time.
Do you need our tokens on the boat then?
Yeah, go for it. So you are pootling along the river. You've got like a four-deck forecastle at the front. You've got inside the wheelhouse is underneath this grey section in the middle. That is a platform over the top of it, so you can stand up there and then see. You got the paddle wheel at the back, obviously. The deck. Is that no? I tell a lie. Ingo and Solix, you're currently stood in the wheelhouse. There is the wheel, smack in the middle of it. The metal grid at the back is a cargo area.
Okay. So the wheel is in the centre of the boat.
That is the wheel.
Yeah, I'm
That's
assuming
the steering wheel.
Yeah, and then that at the back is the paddle wheel pushing you along, rather than on the other one.
I see.
One on each side. This one's just got one at the back.
Yeah.
I assume Waddock and stuff is just driving the boat with the wheel.
Yeah, Waddock is driving the boat. Rorgren is most of the time below decks, maintaining the boat, making sure it's still running. Megan is sat at the back of the boat, contemplating her life choices that she's made.
You and me both, sister.
So, the Dragon's Tongue, a wide and mighty river streaming quickly southwest, bolsters the speed of your barge. Moving along at a fair clip, you consider yourself lucky you are not waist deep in the muck of the quaggy and nefarious moors stretching out from Corvus. In fact, as the city fades behind you, the thicker the vegetation of the bog becomes. Nonetheless, this is distinctly different terrain than your earlier trip north Black River and into the swampy bayou. You quickly leave Widower's Wood entirely behind. Without those trees obstructing your vision, you can see much further, although the view is less than scenic. Where are we?
Can I just do a little thing with talk?
Yep.
Yes.
I felt bad about you losing your gun, mate. But here, I picked this up, and while you were hiding, I didn't shoot him with it. I didn't mean to click it, but I'm gonna hand over.
It's too late. You shot him.
Bang. Yeah, just like, here you go. I'm like, I've shot it a couple of times, but it's gonna be more use in your hands.
Thank you very much. Is it a big explosion?
So it is a mechanical hand cannon. Is it with the silencer rune plate? Did I say that?
Yeah, but you didn't write it on my.
I didn't write it on yours. So Jace, it's a hand cannon with a clockwork capacitor. So you wind it up for an hour every morning, and then it's got how many charges has it got for the day? I need to move you guys around slightly. Clockwork. There it is. It has 10 charges. It can be fully rewound. Oh no, I tell a lie, not an hour. It takes 15 minutes to fully rewind it. And the coil spring lasts for a day, so it has to be wound up at least every day. But if you run out of the 10 charges, you can rewind it early. The silencer rune only takes 1 charge to activate, and it silences the weapon.
Okay.
So no gunshot is heard.
Is that it's like it fires massive slugs? Is that right?
It's not massive slugs. No, it's more like big chunky rifle rounds out of a pistol, rather than. It's not the slug gun. That would be insane to have a silent slug gun.
I figure technically possible with enough runes.
Yeah, I mean, with the silencer rune, it is perfectly possible. I mean, technically, it's possible to have an Ogren battle cannon with the silencer rune. The likelihood of that, given the cost of a mechanical weapon, is based upon the cost of the actual weapon, is low, and most people wouldn't pay to equip their Ogren with a mechanical hand cannon, battle cannon. But it's possible. So, have you got the stats for the hand cannon, or are you?
No. Have you?
It's. Let me grab it from Ingo's sheet.
Does it do a lot of damage?
It's 2d6 damage.
Oh, okay.
I was reading it, Ingo.
Oh, sorry. I was also reading it, and I forget if I'm doing stuff. It does stuff for you as well.
Yeah. So weapons. It is on this page. Hand cannon, 2d6 piercing damage. It has a range of 80/240. It is heavy, and it has magazine 1. It weighs 8 pounds.
Okay.
And it's a Marshall pistol. So technically it uses light rounds like your Maidlock does. Doesn't sound right, but the way Iron Kingdom's Requiem handles ammunition is pistols use light rounds and rifles use heavy rounds. So it will share the Maidlock ammo. I can see if you haven't used it before or whatnot, I'll set up the ammunition and whatnot on the break. In the meantime, did I give you guys a map? No, I haven't shown you the Legion of the Lost Souls map. There we are. Show it to everyone. Has that popped up?
Ooh. Yep.
Is it not popped up on the stream now?
So we're heading to the Tomb of the Lost Souls.
You are, yes. You are looking for the Legion of the Lost Souls. The Tomb of the Lost Souls is located, or the maps that Father Dumas found shows it to be located in the Dragonspine Peaks. You've got sort of a rudimentary map here of Corvus and then the Dragon's Tongue River, and it suggesting that you let out at the Tusk Trail. Is it the Tusk Trail? It's what it says on the map there, but Bortusk Pass is what Waddock Gunner calls it. He knows the bottom of the pass well. It heads up into the mountains. He's not travelled it himself, but he's travelled the river and around the river enough to know roughly where it is, and he will quite happily let you guys alight there. During the course of your first couple of hours of the trip, you see Waddock and Megan have fairly animated discussions with Rorgren a couple of times until he relents and acquiesces to let you borrow the steam jack for your travels. At which point he spends the next hour or so deep in conversation with Sebastian, letting him know the quirks that he's got and the any oddities with this particular jack that Rorgren has found, and sets up the control system. So resets it and sets it up that Sebastian will be the one to control. Will be the only one to be able to give verbal controls to the jack. So essentially, the way the locks and the security of a jack works is there's like a control switch inside, which when you flick it, then allows one person to speak a command word to the jack, and then the jack will recognise and only listen to that one person. So it can't be controlled by a group of people. It will only listen to one person at a time. That control lever, like neutral lever, is hidden behind a locked panel, and the key for which Rorgren gives to Sebastian, and says to you all, I want this back in the condition I have given it to you. I appreciate that your quest is a noble one, and if you succeed, Corvus will be free of the evil that is Vinter and his Inquisition. But I am a practical man, and this practical thing is worth a lot of money. So I would very much appreciate it back in the condition I give it to you, or better.
But if it does, don't worry, we'll pay for the repairs. Like, we will have made enough money from this trip, don't worry.
It's been several hours since you left Corvus, and the landscape around you has become larger in many aspects. To your right, the marsh adopts an ever-thickening timberland as its latest element, rife with tall elms and black-leafed shadow branches. To the left, the marsh has given way to muddy hills and large boulders cloaked in moss and foliage. The landscape here appears to be on a perpetual incline, and in the short distance the towering mountains of the Dragonspine Peaks can be seen. They are impressive in size and scope, and foreboding, with thick clouds obscuring the tops. Somewhere within them your destination lies waiting, secreted away. Standing vigilant at the prow for the last hour, Megan Waddock suddenly breaks the silence, or what passes for silence beyond the loud chugging of the ship's engine. The woman runs the length of the boat and grabs her shield and helm. "Prepare yourselves," she says. "We've got company. Starboard side." Both brothers crane their necks towards the trees to the right. "Blast!" Gunner shouts. "Flaming thrice down filchers. Take cover, mates." And we shall...
Did they say thrice down? What?
Thrice damned filchers was what he said.
Yeah, I'm going to scoop me.
I'm
I'm just looking at everyone.
As soon as she said, "Take up your arms," I got my pistol and my shield out.
Okay.
Ready?
Have I put my armor and stuff back on?
Ooh.
I kind of see Solix, his default state is armor on. You are heading to... Yeah, I mean, unless you're sleeping, or there was a reason
No.
not to, I would have thought he probably would, because you didn't come out of the city. I mean, you wore it to go and see Father Dumas, for example. So
Of course, yeah.
if you're going to wear it to go and see
that's fine,
the dear father, you're almost certainly going to wear it out here.
It's just that I'd taken it off to do the moving, hadn't I? So it was
Yes.
just I was trying to work out how much time had elapsed.
I mean, yeah, you've been on the boat now for a couple of hours, so you'd have almost certainly put it
Yeah,
back on.
yeah.
as
So
soon
I've
as
had
you
time
got
to
the
do it.
boat.
Yeah, that's fine then. I was just making sure I didn't want to cheat my way through it.
Okay. So, what you have got on the starboard side is 5, 3, and 2. So 10. Where are they? Creatures. No, click in the right place. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You've got 10 Pharaoh, which are like pigmen. Shift Z. Is it Shift Z, Owen?
Yeah.
There we are.
Ah.
No, it's Bebop.
That is a Pharaoh. You've got. They are arranged on the riverbank, and some of them appear to be holding crossbows. Some of them.
What the hell was that?
Bear with me a second, guys. I appear to have had a collapse in my dining room. I will be back in a sec.
Okay.
What did he touch?
I didn't touch anything. He put the twigs and it started rumbling.
So everyone, is everyone having a nice time?
Yeah,
Living life.
Get it!
I think someone rolled a nat 1 by the sounds of it.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? We'll make noise over Chris.
Yeah. So
We'll have a party, and then these pigs can join us, and we can have flat pig.
Flat pig.
Flat pig.
We are basically
I'm gonna
killing
eat
walking
these
bacon.
guys.
So I don't know what
I'm gonna eat these.
I don't know what happened, but everything's stable. So I'm gonna walk away and figure it out later.
That's a problem for future Chris.
Indeed. Although I'm not quite sure when future Chris, because out all day tomorrow, out all day Sunday, out all day Monday. Tuesday.
I know,
Chris.
right?
Tuesday, Chris. There we are.
Tuesday, Chris.
Tuesday. Right. Who wants some flat pig?
So, yeah, from this distance you can see there are 5 with crossbows, 3 with rifles, and 2 appear to be manning some sort of ballista.
Oops.
Oh.
Where's the ballista?
I'm just getting back in now, and I will
Oh, sorry.
put it on the map. That's all right. My script stopped working, so I had to dip out for a second. Come on. The ballista is there. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
It was smaller a second ago.
It was. Okay. And those looking at it, it appears to be whatever the more like a barbed tip on the bolt on it appears to be chained or tied to a spool of rope or something like that. There appear to be a few more on the floor around it as well. We will go for some initiative.
Yes, yes, we
Now
know.
that hopefully I've got my script back.
Anyone rolls a 1, I swear. No, I did the thing.
You did the thing, you didn't click your token, did you?
Yeah.
Not to worry. Start combat.
Oh, they're real fast.
Fast pig.
Only because they appear to have rolled pretty well. What did you get, Ingo? What did you roll?
14.12.
Cool. Arwen's in. Everybody else. Solix is in. Tox in. Awesome. So let me just put some little dots on them. Red dots are crossbows. There are 5 crossbows. Blue dots are rifles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. There we go. And the 2 with the ballista are manning the ballista. So, crossbow. Useful. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. +1. 3. No, +32 to hit. That's a bit mean.
They can't miss.
I mean, they still can. They can still roll a 1.
I suppose, yeah.
Like, you lot
Like
have.
every roll so far.
So, 12. Who is... let me put Megan on the deck. She should probably be in the fight as well. Watch Constable. Excuse my lack of preparation. An initiative roll for her. So the crossbow shot is a 12 and thunks into the boat beside Megan, who is stood there, shield in hand. Next one, that's another crossbow. Again, aiming for Megan on that side of the boat. A 20 does hit for 2 damage. Next, that's technically the one that's already been. So, so there's a shot now coming from one of them. That hits Megan for 9.
Oof.
Who is next? The crew of the ballista.
Is that aiming at the boat?
It does appear to be. Oh, sorry, I have misread this slightly. 5 with crossbows, 3 with rifles, and 2 tethering ballistae levelled at the boat. There should be another ballista. And there should be less Pharaoh. My bad. So this one, instead of firing his own crossbow, shoots the ballista at the boat. We will make a crossbow roll to see how well he does. 15. It does. There is now a chain from the ballista as this barbed bolt goes straight through the side of the cabin, catching on the inside, and there is a rope with a bit of chain, bit of rope between the ballista and the boat.
Cool.
Ingo, your turn.
Right. I'm gonna run up to here, to the front of the boat. Get me my bagpipes going. I'm going to hit a one of these at the ballista.
Okay. So hitting the ballista itself, each creature in the 10-foot radius sphere, so you'll also get the 2 Pharaoh around it, make a Constitution saving throw. Let's do their con saves. So they pass, so they take half the damage.
Yeah.
A creature made of inorganic material such as stone. So the ballista isn't a creature. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area. So it doesn't take a save, it just takes the damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, got 14, and then they take 7 each.
Yep. Okay.
And then, just to get the thing done, for my bonus, I will give. Did that go? What's happening? So my roll 20's got a bit weird. Why are you doing it? Yeah, symbolic inspiration on Tok.
Okay. Arwen.
Right, I am going to fire my rifle at this fellow here.
Okay.
Duh.
A 10 is unfortunately a miss.
Shazbat. I am going to hide. I'm going to sort of duck down below the side of the deck, sort of hide out the way. Take cover.
Megan's turn. She's gonna put a pistol, which is going to be at long range, so she's going to fire this at disadvantage against. Who do we think? The same target that Arwen did. The other Pharaoh on the other gun. Go for it.
Yeah, she can show how that's.
An 8 is unfortunately going to miss that. It's a bit of a long one on with a pistol. It is that Pharaoh's go to retaliate, and it's going to have a shot with its crossbow at Arwen. What's the range on a light crossbow? It's not pulled that across from the thingy. 8320. So the crossbow is in range at Arwen.
Oh.
Although did you duck out of sight?
Yeah, I said I went behind cover.
Good point. Not at Arwen then. At Solix, who is the next visible target.
Folly.
In this combat so far, by the way, we've had 2 natural 20s off the NPCs.
I'm not counting. I'm not counting natural 20s and natural 1s. Not me. It's not me.
6.
Solix, your turn.
Great. In retaliation, and given that I am so good at ranged weapons, I'm going to jump off the boat and basically climb my way along the chain in the water as far as I can go.
Okay. How heavy are you, Solix?
Do I know my weight? My total equipment weight is 136.2.
Okay, and a trollkin roughly average about 250 pounds. So you're about 400 pounds in total.
Yeah.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
That's lighter in the water, though, isn't it? That's the.
You're wearing plate armor.
Yeah, but I'm holding on to the chain.
Yeah.
I'm not just diving in the water. I'm
No,
using
no.
the chain as
That's
the.
fine. So
as the
you jump
as the
over
thing.
the side of the boat and grab hold of the chain, and as you do so, it pulls loose from the boat.
Cool. Are they going to reel me in?
You are currently sinking into the water, pulling yourself along the rope. So you are about there, but you are underwater at this point.
That's great. How far along am I?
Where you are now is fine.
Great.
So
How long can I hold my breath for?
away from
Quite a
the
while, I guess.
I believe you can hold your breath. You can function underwater for a number of rounds equal to your Constitution bonus before you start taking damage.
Right, so that's four rounds. So yeah, we'll be out next round.
Top.
There we are, underwater. Submarine Solix.
Tok is going to pull out his new hand cannon
Yep.
and shoot it at. Well, I don't like this bloke here who's got by the ballista, so I'm going to shoot it at this gentleman here.
Okay.
I have so many things open here. Right. Hand cannon. Oh, there we go.
More like it.
That hits. I'll take it.
That does hit. Yep. Yeah,
It's no,
very
it's
much so.
silence in its.
And yeah, a puff of red mist erupts from the back of the Pharaoh, and he drops to the ground.
Oof.
And then bonus action reload by the side of things.
Yep.
Did you say I get 10 charges of the silencer?
Yes.
So I've got a random thing on here called other resources, so I'm just going to knock that down.
Don't you?
You don't. So you don't need to. You need to activate the silencer before you shoot with it. So you don't have to shoot silent.
Oh, okay.
And there's no need for this to be a secret.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to do it loud and proud then.
Can you attack twice now? By the way, because we last week we realised you could shoot and then
Yeah, level 6.
shoot again.
Oh. Give me a second. I will look in the player book. Una minuta, por favor. Your ball is important to us.
Because like last week I shot, bonus action reload, and then shot again.
Yeah, I think I can shoot more than once now. Which is another reason why I'm annoyed at the repeater rifle that has been taken off me by that nerd.
Hey, we're all nerds here.
I know.
That Sergeant Smith, though, man, he was a real nerd.
Yeah.
He's one of those bad nerds.
Yeah, you went
He's
lone
not.
gun, didn't you? Extra attack at 6th level. Yes.
Do I get an extra attack?
At 6th level, you can attack twice instead of once when you take the attack action on your turn. Yes.
Right then. I'm going to shoot him then.
Okay.
So that means if I cast haste, I get 3 shots.
Yep.
Shame I've lost that repeater.
Provided your weapon has a magazine capacity, yes.
Right. Hand cannon at the next one along.
13 is just a hit. It glances him, but it does take him down as well.
And I'll spin it on my finger and go,
And you still got your bardic inspiration.
yes.
So the next Pharaoh along is a crossbow Pharaoh, and he is going to target Ingo.
I hope one of them is called Mia.
Mia Farrow.
There's one for the old people there.
I believe that's a miss, Ingo. A 5.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just close. Yeah. So this one is actually he's gonna step a bit closer, and he is gonna go with his pig iron against Ingo as well for a 16. Nope. Okay. Back to the top. What I'm gonna say back to the top, but before we do, you're gonna like this bit, Tom.
Are you pulling me in?
Oh, the boat moved.
Cool.
Magical.
Okay.
So we're not being like roped in by the ballista at this point.
No, you've pulled the ballista bolt out of the boat.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Back to the top then. Farrah over here. He is going to trigger the ballista. We'll roll his light crossbow. It hits. So we've got another bolt. Not freehand. I don't want to do freehand. That thunks into the side of the cabin and grabs a hold of the boat. A crossbow over here. He's going to go for Megan. 21 for 6. She's getting hurt. And he's dead. This guy's turn. Pig iron shot against Ingo.
Ha.
Okay, here's you see a puff of powder burn out the back of the gun, just completely covering this guy's face, or this pig's face. And he sort of throws his rifle, his gun down in disgust. And he's dead as well. Ingo, your turn.
Right. I am going 1, 2, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I can do that, yeah? Just run all the way along to here, yeah?
Yep.
On the back. And then I'm going to do pretty much exactly the same thing as I did last time.
You're going to shatter at the other ballista.
Yeah, I'll just hit it just so it's actually used. There you go.
So, pair of con saves. A pass and a fail.
Ooh.
So the blue one's failed, the red one's passed.
3d8.
12. So the red one passed, that's -6. -12 for the other one, and 12 off of the ballista.
And then while I've got my bagpipes sat still, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm going to give Solix some inspiration, because I feel like he needs to be inspired with what he's doing.
Okay. Yeah,
That's my turn.
the cruel DM in me thinks that he can't hear you under the water, but as long as you're still playing when he walks out of it, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Also, like bagpipes transcend. Transcend water.
This is magical music,
True.
so you know.
True. Owen.
So what's that doing for me? Is that gonna?
You get a D8 to stuff now.
You've got
It's the inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hit
Great.
it just so it's used in the thing.
Who are you shooting at, Owen?
The ballista.
The ballista itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It hits, and yeah, it seems to knock a big chunk of the wooden construction out. Megan, what's
And
Megan?
I'll duck down again.
Okay. Megan's going to follow the lead of everybody else, and I guess go for the ballista as well. No, she's not. No, her pistol's well out of range. She's going to drop her pistol on the deck, grab her sword, and she's going to come over and try and cut away the whatchamacallit? Cut away the thing. My brain's not working. What's she done? She shouldn't have been on disadvantage, but a 9 would have failed to do any appreciable damage to the chain. This Pharaoh over here, seeing Megan try and do that, it's going to go. He's got a crossbow, so a 15 is going to miss her though. Solix.
It's time. Solix continues to walk out of the water. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Is that all right there?
Yeah.
Cool. I assume I'm out of the water now.
You're still like shin deep, so you're still like in wet, but you are
Yes.
above the water. Yes,
I'm not holding my breath anymore.
correct. Anything else?
There's not really a great deal I can do. I don't think. I don't have anything that's going to be helpful. I can't reach anyone.
So don't forget that you've got two options at this point. You can call the dodge action, which means their attacks against you are at disadvantage, or you could dash.
Oh, yeah.
Or you could dash and actually get into combat with them to stop them shooting.
Oh yeah, let's do. If I can dash, then I can just run forwards to this.
Yep.
Would I have enough on a dash to get to there?
Yes.
Then I'll do that instead, please. I will engage them both.
Right. Who shall I shoot? Solix has got 2 on him. Where shall I look? Not a choice now. I can shoot twice.
Well,
Your
I
gun-
mean, you say you can shoot twice, but you reloaded, shot last turn, so your gun is currently empty.
I'll pull out Mage Lock,
Okay.
and then I will. Hold on. Let me have a think. There's no point. Yeah, no point with. I'll pull out the Mage Lock because we should be finished with battling by then, by the next round. My thinking. Right. I'm going to shoot this one with the Mage Lock pistol. Hold on, I'm selecting it with a thingy. That one there. First, please.
So that would be at disadvantage. The mage lock's only got a 40-foot range.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Let's give it a go.
You've got bardic inspiration, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it.
No, no, you don't need it. Solix, you've walked up to this guy. You've dashed up to this guy, and just as you get there, you see his head just disappear in a puff of red.
Right. Being I've got disadvantage, I'm going to go for one of these over here now. Because, yeah.
So how are you playing this now? I mean, you can reload the hand cannon with your bonus action and then shoot with the hand cannon, which has got a range of 80.
Yes, I will do what you just said because it sounds much more sensible than what I was thinking of.
At which point you can shoot any of them with a standard shot.
I mean, that saying that they are further closer than them.
It's the weird way that Roll20 works
Yeah.
with diagonals.
I'll go for this one here.
For which one?
This one here.
Yep.
With the hand cannon. Bonus action, reload a hand cannon. And... Oh no, this is going to roll with disadvantage. I forgot to click off it.
That's alright, we'll take the first one. A 19.
19.
A 19 does hit.
Can I add Bardic Inspiration to the damage?
Yes.
What is it?
D8.
8.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
every little helps.
It is me, so, you know.
It's
I
fine.
mean, a 1 is par for the course for Owen's damage rolls.
Ingo's damage, it's just 1.
One, yeah.
He doesn't roll, he just gets 1. Is that right?
Yeah. If I attack with Huzzah, it just does 1 damage.
So it is this Pharaoh's turn, and he is gonna swing his club at Solix for a 21. Solix,
That is going to hit me.
4 bludgeoning damage.
I'll take it.
That one's dead. Back to the top. This guy with his pig iron is going to go for Megan. Come on, I'm sure I clicked on it. Yep, there we are. An 8 is going to miss. Next guy back here is going to go for Tok with the light crossbow. A 10 is not going to hit. The one you just shot, Tok, is going to have a crack at you with his pig iron, but he's at disadvantage because the pig iron is short ranged. Does that get anywhere close? Ingo.
I mean, if it works, if it's working, just keep going. I'm gonna shatter. Right, I don't know why it's not asking me if I want to do it or not, but I'm shattering at a higher level.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shatter, but at a level 3.
Level 3 shatter.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 con saves for the Pharaoh, left to right. Pass and fail again. So you're going to do 48 damage this time.
Oof. Wow.
So 10 to the first one because he passed. He is, however, gone. The second one only had 1 hit point left, so he is definitely gone. Actually, no, he is so gone that there are no longer any remains. Your shatter has just disintegrated him.
Given I feel that it was really worthwhile walking in the water to come out this. I could have literally just had a nap on the boat at this rate. This is.
You got these two, yeah.
And then the ballista itself takes 20. It's looking decidedly poorly. I'm just going to move that Pharaoh out of the way so you can see his see the ballista's health bar.
Yeah.
Anything else, Ingo?
Nah. Oh, nah. Nah.
Nah.
Arwen.
I'm going to pop up and take a shot at this chap over here, I think.
Okay.
And miss. And I pop back down again.
You are at disadvantage on that shot anyway, because your range is only 60.
I thought it was 60 to 180.
Which would give you disadvantage up to 180 over 60.
Okay. Well, in which case, no, let's do it again because I might get lower. I'm doing the wrong thing. Damn it. Disadvantage. There you go. 12. Yeah. No. I still feel that it wasn't worth the supplies, but okay.
Megan is going to have another hack at the chain. Yep, that'll do it. Her swing severs the links of the chain holding the barb in place, making the attached chain fall away. Oh, where are we going? This one is also gone. I just can't select it. There we go. It is a Pharaoh's turn. No, it's a dead Pharaoh's turn. Solix.
We expend a charge on Caspian Battleblade. We swing the Caspian Battleblade. And do that.
So that's what, 24 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You cleave him in two, and the remains, as they fall to each side, twitch with the electrical impulses shooting through them.
Electrical impulses.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, we're running forward and attacking again. So we're coming over here. We expend another charge and try again.
That's a miss.
We use Bardic Inspiration.
Yep.
To make it a hit.
Yep. Which one were you attacking? The blue or the red?
The one with full health.
Or with full health. Okay. So 9 plus 6.
Plus 6.
14. It's not quite such an impressive kill, but the Pharaoh does go down.
And then I just stand looming over the one remaining one, breathing heavily, covered in pig blood, and I lick my lips.
Tok.
Looking at Solix looming over the big pig. I know I can't get a clean shot in, so I'm just going to reload both my guns with a bonus action and action. And I'm just going to let him have his way with the pig in a metaphorically swordy sense, obviously.
Okay. Back to the top. It is that Pharaoh's turn. He is going to turn and attempt to swing at Solix with a club. Oh, would you look
Crit.
at that? Would you
I
look
probably
at that?
deserve that.
Pixel.
Ingo, your turn.
I'm gonna get my pistol, and then I'm gonna try and shoot it. I'm at disadvantage, but I'm gonna try and see if I can steal the kill from.
Do 1 damage to it, I mean.
Unfortunately, that's a miss.
It was very nearly.
But I can attack again, right?
If your class says you can, I believe you can. That is also a miss.
I just missed twice. It's about what I deserve, but
Solix, you feel 2 little plinks coming from behind as they glance off your shoulders while trying to find a mark on the Pharaoh in front of you. Owen.
Right, so I've used 5 charges so far. So I've got 5 left.
5. Have you been... You haven't said you've been adding any damage.
I thought each shot took a charge anyway. I thought it was powered by...
No, as a bonus action, you can add an effect to the next ranged attack you make with this weapon. So it's a...
Oh,
So you've used no charges yet.
ooh, okay, cool. But I've used 5 bullets and I haven't got those listed, so okay, I'll have to do that. Yeah, no, I think we'll just, we'll chalk this one up to experience.
The real fight with the Pharaoh was the friends we made along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guns we lost.
Cool. It is Megan's turn. She is gonna sit down and wait for Solix to do his business.
Okay, Solix is gonna try. He's gonna expend the thing. He's gonna do that. I've expended the thing and done that, and then done that.
Okay. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, thank goodness.
There you are, Mark. You've got bullets in there. There's only 1 in the sheet at the minute, but
I was just doing it myself. Okay, light rounds.
beat you
So,
to it.
Like-
Solix looks back at the boat and points at one of the ballistas and goes, "Can we have one of them?"
so can you pick it up?
I mean, the shore isn't exactly anywhere we can bring the boat in, but I don't know.
Let's mount it. Let's mount it to the front of the boat. A bit of extra security.
If you can figure out a way to get it to us.
How deep is it? I'll hold it above my head and just walk.
I mean,
walk it out.
surely you can make it like a raft of the dead Pharaoh because they'll float.
Well, there's got to be wood. There's wood around here, isn't there? We could get some wood from these trees, and then and there must be wood. We can. All of us have rope.
That'd work, but I think a raft of corpses would go a lot better.
Raft of corpse raft.
So, speaking of corpses, an interesting discussion on the Iron Kingdom's Requiem Discord it came about of trying to fuel steamjacks, and somebody worked out the calorific content of a human corpse, and therefore its fuel, its viability as fuel for a steamjack. And it's not as terrible as it might seem. Apparently, 1 pound of coal is the equivalent of 5 pounds of human flesh.
Okay.
So yeah, it was
I don't want to meet the person who worked that out.
or how they work that out.
Yeah. Is their name Bricktop? Do they have a pig farm? Got a friend called Turkish.
That's the one.
Thank you for following us, Luck God. Interestingly, from somebody from the Requiem Discord. So, are you going to try and create a raft?
Of course.
I think Solix has given up on that idea and just gone. No, there he is.
Well, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think having a ballista might be a useful thing, or are we not going to be on this boat very long?
They feel like will be much need. Did you see how well we dealt with them there, Solix?
I mean, I just hate to see. I hate to see a good weapon go to waste.
Well, I think we're under a time restraint as well, though, aren't we?
We'll pick it back up. We'll pick it up on the way back, Solix. We'll pick it up on the way back.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Bring one of those dead bodies over for some flat pig.
Delish.
It's flak pig time.
So the boat gets as close as it can to the shore, and they sling some ropes out for you to pull yourself back on board.
Thank you. I'm taking I take a corpse with me.
It's about a flat pig.
Okay, you guys are moseying on up the river. And it is coming towards the end of the first day out of Corvus. You've had time for a short rest on the boat after this this encounter. So Megan is gonna heal herself up a little bit.
I'll do my Song of Rest.
Which is an extra d6 if you heal, is that right?
Yeah.
Good
Sure
job,
is.
really. Cool.
Solix, don't forget you've got your regenerative, so if you roll a 1 or a 2 on your hit die, you can re-roll it.
Oh, cool. I forgot that. First time I've done it. Oh.
Well,
How many times do I get to re-roll it?
Unfortunately,
once.
just the once.
yeah, can't re-roll the re-roll, can you?
So, I mean, you can use more than one hit die though.
That's all right. I'm up to. I'm feeling a lot better.
Megan is going to use 2 for 10, 14 health.
I'll play what sounds like Bagpipe Darude Sandstorm. I feel that's quite a soothing song.
Yes, it's a soothing banger.
And she gets her d6 as well. I can't
Hey.
see the box. A 6, nice. So she's back up to full health now. Yep. She's back up to full health, and yeah, closing out the first day out of Corvus, we can finish up combat. Stop combat. Come on, stop. There we are. Yeah, taking its time, but it's done. As the boat rounds a bend, you spy a group of figures milling about the river's edge. They appear to have seen you as well, and they stand stock still as they watch your approach. You count at least half a dozen Scorn bedecked in intricate black armour. They make no movements, but simply watch you with impassive eyes as you go by.
Wave.
What a Scorn again?
Scorn are the inhuman looking things that you faced one of them in the. I tell a lie. Solix didn't, because Solix went off on his little jaunt. They're the creatures from the Badlands that have come in. They are Vinter's army.
Right. Bad news.
Yes, bad people.
Do they wave back?
No, they don't.
Rude.
They just stand there and stare. That's not
Rude.
creepy at all.
Voyeurs.
I'll use prestidigitation a lot and just make fireworks. Ah.
Okay. You continue on for the. After that, nighttime. Are you guys setting a watch?
Yep.
Probably for the best.
Rorgren and Gunnar take shifts on the boat, so it keeps going throughout the night. It's a bit slower, but still well in control. And did you have something, Mark, or just a cough?
I was going to say I'm going to wrap up in a blanket and stay at the prow, just sort of half dozing, keeping my ears open. I'm used to doing these overnight as being an acquisitions expert, so that's what I'll do.
Okay. Morning comes around without much in the way of anything happening overnight, and you are continuing your trek. It's about halfway through the second day then, when Gunnar throttles back on the engine and heads the boat over towards the shore, and this is about as close as I can get you to where you need to be. You'll need to follow the Bortusk Pass up into the mountains, and if that map of yours holds true, I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for up there. Beware though, the pass isn't without its difficulties. It's gonna there's more brigands. I'm sure you'll bump into some more of those Pharaoh at some point. Keep your eyes peeled, but I'm sure you'll manage. You guys have proven yourselves pretty resourceful. And they lower down a rather large gangplank, and Sebastian comes out from below decks, and you hear the clunking footsteps of the steamjack as it walks down the gangplank. But almost as soon as it's been switched on, Rorgren also leads out a couple of Ordic horses attached to a wagon. Lead them up onto the riverbank, and on the back of the wagon you can see some barrels of coal and some kegs of water, fuel for your steamjack. And Sebastian points and tells the the steamjack, to climb up onto the back of the wagon. It's a big wagon designed for carrying these things, and at which point it sort of powers down and goes inert on the back to save on fuel. You guys are.
Is the wagon doing a wheelie now and the horses are in the air?
No. I mean, the wagon's got 2 axles, plenty of wheels, and the steamjack is pretty centred on it. Despite good reason, Gunnar Waddock says as he and Megan withdraw the gangplank, "Methinks we'll be seeing you back in Corvus. Good luck to you, mates." Megan Waddock adds, "Morrow smiles on you." She waves as they raise anchor, and shortly the steamboat drifts out of sight. The terrain is difficult here. The base of the mountains is wet and wildly dense, with tangled brush and boulders, blanketed with thick moss. Various streams flow down the mountain face, and you are forced to struggle with the animals and the cart to attain some semblance of level ground. Movement is very slow, but you check the map, and from all indications it appears you are headed in the right direction.
So, did you say where the cross is where we've departed the boat?
Let me double check the map, but almost certainly yes. Yes, where the cross is. You need to head sort of across the marshy land to start with to find the base of the trail, and then follow the trail up into the mountains. But yes, the cross is where you've been dropped off.
Okay.
Can I get survival checks, please, to navigate this horrendous ground?
Right.
No. Give me 2 minutes, I think.
I don't know why I'm on disadvantage.
What are my dogs do?
So we'll say 17.
Do you want it from everybody or just?
From everybody, yeah. As you're all sort of paying attention to where you're going, trying to navigate through. One, two, three, four. Awesome. So Ingo and Solix, you managed to pick your way, guiding the others through this morass of undergrowth and swampy, sludgy ground, managing to stay on the tougher patches and not get the not get the wagon mired in the mud. And you find an old trail that eventually leads to an overgrown stone bridge. The bridge is ancient and spans a broad rivulet originating from a loud and lofty waterfall. Although it's old, the bridge does look sturdy and should bear the weight of the cart and the horses. And at the other end sits a large stone marker covered in vines and ivy.
Alright, it seems like the right way, I guess. It's where we've got to go. Onwards and upwards.
Yep.
I've got a good feeling about this.
I got a feeling.
Okay. A little bit further along, the ruins of two squarish watchtowers somberly proclaim the opening of Bortusk Pass. These once proud and tall towers are now husks of collapsed masonry, choked with prickly vines. The pass itself ascends through a cleft in the towering rock. It appears as if it were divided by the blade of an axe wielded by an ancient god. Beyond the opening of the pass, the dragon spine peaks vanish into the heavens, and simply by the scope of their vastness, everything around you seems diminished and less significant.
I'm going to check the watchtowers to make sure that nothing's been left behind of any significance to this mission or shinies.
Okay. You going to investigate the ruins? Okay. You find nothing of value, and these ruins are old, and anything of value has been picked clean many, many moons ago.
Shazbat. Okay.
Continue up the path.
It's getting late in the day as you make your way past the towers. Can everybody make a perception check for me?
Sorry. First one.
I mean, no, the same. I know one, so.
Okay. As the light is failing, you can you hear the sound of falling rock nearby on the path.
I don't know if I like that.
Is there a cave anywhere we can camp in that doesn't have a crack in the floor?
You can have a look
if-
around for somewhere to make camp.
If the sound of falling rock is that there's someone coming?
More like something has kicked or knocked a stone and it's then tumbled down a bit. Not a lot of it, but just like you catch rock moving, which implies that there's something there.
Cool. I'm gonna go out and investigate that.
Okay.
I'll follow Solix, and then a bit. Yeah.
So
I'll
give
just
me survival as you're looking around the area.
Both of us.
If you're proficient in it, Solix can roll with advantage, or you can roll individually.
I'm not proficient, so we'll just roll it.
Neither am I.
Okay. So you can't find anything. You think you identify the source and the bit of loose scree got kicked down from somewhere, but you can't find anything that caused it.
I'm just gonna.
Then in
take
that
it.
case,
I think we'll settle up for the because it's late, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the light's failing at this point.
We'll settle up for the night,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
we'll do watches.
Okay. And who is going to take what watch? Also,
I'll take the first watch.
Are you just camping around the cart on the road, or are you looking for somewhere to pull the cart off the road into a more secluded area?
I think pull the cart off into a secluded area is going to be a better bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me a party survival check then to find somewhere better suited?
Any of us good at survival?
I don't,
I mean, you apparently seem
Apparently,
Arwen.
me.
Arwen's
Right.
pretty good.
And Arwen as well.
Oh, I'm doing
So, whilst you guys were off investigating the noise, Arwen had a good scout around and found somewhere, and he's proudly standing in the mouth of this not cave but recess into the rock. As Solix comes back around the corner and points out and goes, "That looks like a great place to sleep for the night."
And they're like, it's perfect, Solix. Well done, mate. Pat him on the back.
You're welcome, everyone.
Right, Tuck,
Glad to be of assistance.
Tuck, mate, have you seen this little space that Solix found for us to?
It's brilliant.
Huh?
Very good, very good. I like it. Well done, Solix.
Well, man.
Solix is famous, for finding good places to sleep.
He is, yeah. He's fantastic.
I am famously good at finding locations to sleep.
Come on, let's get Arwen, mate. Can you get out of the way? We need to get the cart in there.
Okay. Who is taking what watch?
I ain't taking one with Arwen.
I'll take one with Ingo.
Alright. Pistol Bros.
Yeah.
Out of interest, what health are you on now with level 6?
Who, me? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I need to add another what's it duty, don't I? English is good. No. I'm on 32, sorry.
So
I've
don't
already
you
done
need...
it. I've already
Were
done
you-
it.
I thought you were on 32 before because we had the same amount of health
I
before.
was. Yes, hold on. What am I? D8.
I mean, you
Just-
did roll yours at the end of the previous session, but I honestly can't remember what it was, and it's so far back in the thing.
I'll have that one.
Yep, nicely done. I'd take that one.
Oh.
if I were you.
Plus a 1, so I'm up to 41 now.
We're not HP twins anymore.
No.
Never mind.
I'm happy with
Okay,
that.
so Ingo and Tok, you taking the first watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Solix can look after Arwen's insanity a bit better than either of us.
Okay, so are we bearing in mind that you need 6 hours sleep, so you can have a 2-hour watch and 6 hours of sleep in order to get your rest. With a group of 4, that implies that either Arwen and Solix have a watch on their own, or you potentially have a non-watch 2 hours. What's the plan?
I will happily have a watch on my own.
Okay. If you're happy with
Sorry,
that.
the cat has decided to bite my feet. Thank you.
At least it's just a cat biting your feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tok and I will have the first
Solix, are you
What?
on second watch, or Arwen, are you on second watch?
I'll take second.
I'll take
one.
second. I'll take third.
Arwen pipped you to it, so Solix is on third watch. Can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
That's my second one, but the third one of the day.
Okay, and with that, guys, we are going to take our customary 10-minute break to go and get something to drink, pit stops, and we will resume 2 minutes past 10 with the consequences of the night. We will see you guys shortly. And welcome back from our little break. Apologies, it was a little bit longer. I had some noise in the background and I didn't want it to come onto the stream. So, we resume after the night time. Let me actually transfer you guys onto a map. I do have a map of the Tuskball Pass. Here we go. And there is a
Aw.
wagon with
Oh,
a jack and some barrels on it and some horses.
Does the wagon move?
Of course it does.
Oh, look at that. There you go, Tom.
Of course it moves.
Should we set up over here
Over where?
by the tree? Here?
Yeah, you can set up over there for the night. That's fine. You can pull horses from the cart in.
sideways horses.
Oh yeah. They're very very futuristic horses. They can drift.
Four
Horse
by
or drift?
horse.
They're hover horses.
Hover horses. This is the Iron Kingdoms. Anything is possible.
Indeed.
I like that. I like that they're hover horses, but the carriage has still got wheels.
Shush. Don't break people's illusion.
So I'll suspend disbelief.
So, over the
Can
course of...
the Steamjack moonwalk, by the way? Because I'd be really impressed if he could.
no, it can't.
I think we should program that into it. Next time we're in battle, confuse everybody.
Okay.
So, over the course of the night, Ingo and Solix, you hear various shuffling and moving about through the environment, but nothing comes of it. You don't see anything, but you definitely get the feeling that there's something out there and something's watching. And the morning comes around without any difficulty. You are on day 2 in the Bortusk Trail.
Ah.
Right. Let us continue.
Yeah, same as before, I suppose. We're just going to follow the same sort of process, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Making your way up the trail, it twists and it turns as it rises from the river level up into the mountains. Mark, can you roll me a d8, please?
Be my pleasure. Two.
2.
Only 2 hill giants.
Did everybody else just refresh their roll 20, or is roll 20 just throwing a connection hissy fit?
It threw a connection issue.
Oh
so I
no,
refreshed.
stone connection.
Yeah,
Right. I noticed all the names disappear at the bottom, and now they've just come back. So
Yeah.
cool. And as a consequence of that, can I have perception checks from everybody as they are? Unless you are not paying attention as you're forging your way up.
After hearing the shuffling in the night, I'd definitely be paying my attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely am. So, perception.
Yeah, we're all switched on.
Right, hold on. Un momento, por favor. Yeah, I'm about to switch on as a off light bulb.
13's not bad.
That's great for me tonight. Yeah, it's
True.
9 more than I normally
Not a
get.
1.
Okay. Where are we? You guys all spot actually a shadowy band of humanoids following you.
Is it? Do you think it's a group of Scornish that's over 4? Because that sounds like fun. Shall I put my code on the map?
Hey, you can do.
Right. Should we continue on our path but be very aware of them? Or are we going to stop now and face them head on and see what's going on?
Or I could hide off the path and watch them go past and see who they are. Maybe follow behind.
If you're happy with that.
Well, you're the boss. I'm just making suggestions, you know.
Yeah, go on. You go do your stealthy stuff. You can do your stealthy stuff.
Okay, I'll slide away from the group.
The rest of us will act au naturel and keep going onwards.
Au naturel, eh?
Yeah, and I'm going to attempt to
We're
hide.
naked, are we?
Yeah.
Apparently.
So no, we're just going to be blundering idiots like we normally are.
Okay. As the group progresses, and Arwen, you're staying behind to see what's following. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hidden tree. So the group progresses off, and following behind, at a good distance, is a group of 7 Pharaoh, much like the ones you found at the riverside. Mix and match of weapons, some crossbows, some clunky, not primitive, but not refined firearms, rifle type weapons. They are progressing up the path, and when they get
Are they talking?
they're grunting to each other, yes. Not in a language you understand.
Okay.
And when they get fairly close to you, one of them sniffing the air and then looks straight at you.
Okay.
Roll initiative.
I was going to say, do I think from my experience that the jig is up?
Yeah, you probably do.
Are we all rolling initiative?
You're all rolling initiative, yep.
Are we killing Arwen off again, are we?
Say again?
Yeah.
Are we
It
killing
looks
Arwen
like
off
it.
again?
Oh, I did the thing again. It keeps unselecting my. Well, I think it's because you clicked moved us.
Oh, I'm not on the map at the moment.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, I am. Sorry, I couldn't see myself. I clicked myself.
I have to say that things are desperate.
Hey!
I may have to start shooting short swords because I think things are getting pretty desperate now.
Well, I
Put
mean,
the arrows away.
At the minute, Roll20 won't even roll my initiatives, so at the moment you're
It's
okay.
being a bit slow.
Let me refresh mine after that connection. Mine didn't come up with a connection issue. Let me just check what the stream is seeing. Yeah, the stream's one looks alright. The stream's copy looks alright. So, and that's better. Is everybody on the initiative order, or did some people talk? Arwen, just Ingo didn't, yeah?
Yeah, 10.12.
And 10 for 10.12. Solix, it's your turn first.
Okay. Then what are they again?
They are the pig people, the Pharaoh.
Oh, cool. More Pharaoh. More. I'm presuming more ranged chappies.
They have
but we don't know.
They've got a mixture of weaponry. Some have got crossbows. Some have got the primitive rifles. Less unrefined rifles that you've seen before. They're all wielding some form of club or blunt instrument as well.
Yeah. Could you potentially move me? Because my roll 20 is being a bit funny. And because I want to dash as far as I can go.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay.
Is that right there?
Yep. Are you making lots of noise? Are you...
I mean, they were following us, weren't they?
Yeah.
Or are they just patrolling?
You thought they were following you, so Arwen dropped back to check. But as this all happened, you saw them stop and sniff the air, and then look directly at where you know Arwen was hiding.
Yeah. I'm making the noise of a sweaty 250-pound trollkin in full plate armor running. So I imagine it probably sounds like, you know, when you drop a pan in a kitchen.
It's the loudest thing ever.
It's so, I'm basically making that sound, but with heavy breathing as well.
Okay.
But Sonic also understands that it's his job to be the target, so.
So, Pharaoh's turn. This chap is going to level his crossbow at you, Solix, for a 7. I don't think that'll hit.
It's not going to hit.
No, not even close.
Not even, sorry, not quite going to do it.
And then,
A valiant
seeing
effort.
this lumbering trollkin charging at him, he's going to retreat off to the side a little bit.
Run away.
Run away?
This Pharaoh is going to skulk into the shadows to find Arwen and have a swing with his club. Oof!
Oh.
Ouch.
It's a critical clubbing.
That needs to be some kind of nerdy nightclub.
Critical shove.
Critical clubbing.
It's a cool clubbing.
So is that 16 points of damage then?
No, it's 8. No, that takes into account the critical.
8, okay.
21 to hit you, Solix, for 4 damage from the pig iron.
That'll do it.
And Ingo, your turn.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I, as I'm doing that, can I draw my shield and pistol? Was that going to take?
You guys were wary on your trip, so I'm assuming you're already armed. You
Yeah,
were on
shield
the
and
lookout.
pistol out. Cool.
Anything else? Any bonus actions? Sorry, I realised I've moved on.
I will inspire Solix,
Okay.
because I've got my inspirations back.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Lovely.
30. This Pharaoh is charging up towards Solix to swing with his club that ricochets harmlessly off of Solix's breastplate. Tok.
Kink.
Right. Right then. So, how far am I away from these horrible fat boys? Right, so my movement speed, I can get to there. So that's what I will do. I'll go to there. Right. Ooh. Right. I had too much choice. Right, I'm going to shoot this one here because I don't want to take Solix's fun away from him. With me hand cannon silenced,
Okay.
because I want to be set with incognito. So first attack. 18,
Is a hit
9 damage.
for 9 damage. It's a solid
Right.
hit.
Bonus action reload.
Yep.
And then I'm going to attack again, but I'm going to use a trick shot.
Okay.
I think that is what it's called, the bouncy one, the
Yes.
ricochet one.
Yeah.
So let me knock that down there. I've got 3 of these now, actually, haven't I? I think I gained 1. No, I gained 1 next time. I don't know. I'll read up on it. I'm organised. Right, and then attack number 1 of this one. So it's this bloke, and then to ricochet up to this bloke here.
Okay.
So 17 to hit,
For 11, takes him down.
and then. Oh, it's a shame.
That would have been so good, but unfortunately the 11 misses.
It would have been 34 damage in 1 round.
Smashes off the rock behind him though, showering him with shards of rock, but not causing any appreciable
I'll
damage.
put that away and get my hand hovering over me pistol.
Armin.
So we'll try and stab him with. Hello. Oh no, hang on. It's not equipment. It's this one. There in the end. For a 17.
Hits for 4 damage.
And hit him with a second dagger. Come on. Oof. Natural 20. 9 points.
More. 2 quick stabs with the dagger, and this Pharaoh squeals its last and drops to the deck.
I'll just look at the wound he's inflicted on me and I'll just run my finger in it, taste the blood and go. That's it.
Are you staying there?
Well, based on the fact that there's more of them than me, I'm going to use my cunning action to move back a little bit.
Okay. You don't even need to use the cunning action to do that. You've got movement.
But I wanted to.
Okay. Okay.
I wanted it to be cunning.
Ah. So cunning that this Pharaoh comes around the side and shoots at you with his light crossbow.
That's just completely unpleasant, isn't it? Oh, there's just no call for it. Oh, flip me. There really is no call for that. 9.
I
Piffle.
think I've rolled as many nat 20s as you guys have nat 1s so far tonight.
Can someone take his dice off him?
You've attacked Arwen twice and critted.
And
both
critted
times.
him both times.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling, victim here.
It's alright, this guy's going to go for Solix. 10, 15, 20,
That seems fair.
30. No, he's not. He's going to go for Ingo with his pig iron.
No, don't he? Yeah,
The
it's gonna
15?
miss. Nah.
And last but not least, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he's going to go for Ingo as well, I think. Yeah, just in range. Nah.
Wait, play
not
that.
enough.
What a play that.
Solix.
Solix is very happy to be back in a fight. Expands a charge, swings his thing, and does that. 23.
Okay. Yeah, he's you just cut him in 2.
And then he's gonna move 1, 2, 3 this way. He doesn't have any charges left in this battery, and I need to change it as like a bonus action, I guess. Can I change the battery? Is it like reloading, or is it a full action?
It'll be an action.
Cool. Okay, then in that case, forgetting that, I'm just going to do an attack without any charges.
Okay. That hits for 7.
And drop and then, but obviously not to be outdone, drop a bardic inspiration, additional
Hey.
damage, which isn't quite what I wanted.
No.
And no, it is a waste of divine smite. So we're not going to do that.
Okay.
This bacon is very divine. Well sliced.
This guy around the back, he's going to continue.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's alright.
I just forgot that I also had Nature's Wrath.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to try and skirt around the back. He was the target of Tok, wasn't he? Is he? He's going to have a go at Tok. He's going to be Oh no, he's got a crossbow. He is okay. So crossbow shot at Tok for a 12.
No.
Can I just ask, because I've forgotten,
Yeah.
how does it work with paladins and channeling my divinity? Is that an action to do to channel my divinity?
Let me check.
I don't think I've ever done it before, so that's the only reason I ask.
You haven't done it. It's not even on your character sheet.
I'm just going to take my movement and then we'll...
Sorry.
Sorry? I just knew where I was moving to.
So it's based upon the channel divinity itself. So your nature's wrath says, as an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up. But all paladins also have the turn undead thing, which again is an action.
Cool. So it's just worth knowing, because it's an ensnaring one, isn't it? So it's quite good.
Yeah. So Ingo, carry on.
So I moved, and then I'm going to shout at this one, "Oi, don't you ever shoot on my Tok again!" And then shoot him with a pistol.
And
Miss.
it's a miss.
And then he's going to shoot again. Missed even more.
That's a miss.
So he can shoot at Tok, but I can shoot at him twice as much and miss just as much.
Tok, it's your turn. I believe showing what it's done is the correct
Right,
term.
yeah, a bit of retaliation. Come up here, pistol now, mage lock pistol. Right, where are we? So,
Yep.
am I in range?
It's 40 feet on Mage Lock, isn't it? So 5 feet
Yeah.
closer.
5 foot closer. I'll go to there
Yep.
and shoot between Engo's legs.
Okie doke.
Team Tingo.
Right. Do we know? No, I wouldn't know. So I'm going to carry on. Right, I'm going to use. Accuracy. So I get advantage on this one shot.
Okay.
Right, so. Advantage. Mage Rock Pistol. Oh. Is that it? I rolled 2 1s on damage.
Oh.
Can I just give up, please?
You're not having a good session, are you?
I could have rolled in total of another 18 more.
Yeah.
But no, I rolled a 1 and a 1. That's fine. So 8 damage to start off.
Yep.
And then I'm going to shoot at him again.
Bonus action reload, shoot again, yeah.
Bonus action reload, shoot him again. With normal, not advantage. Bye!
Oh my
Jeez
god,
Louise.
roll 20.
What is going on?
Roll 20 is on one tonight. This is ridiculous.
What is this game tonight?
That was technically a natural 20 and then 3 1s.
What is going on?
I don't know.
Chris, what have you done to my profile while I've been away?
I've done nothing. It's not just you, it's everybody. Roll 20.
That's my 5th one.
Wow.
At least you've had a natural 20.
I'd rather have no natural 20s and not roll 1s all the time, though.
I dread to ask, anything else, Jace? I think that is you, isn't it?
A single malt whiskey, please, darling.
Arwen.
So I'm going to scramble up here. Is that okay?
Yep.
And then I'm going to unleash all hell with my rifle and I'm going to expel a charge. So if this misses, it's a complete waste of time.
Who are you shooting at?
Yep. Well, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And a sulk. Thank you.
15, 20 to there, and we're going to go with a pig iron shot versus. Let's randomise between Tingo. Odds is Ingo and evens is Tok. Odds Ingo. Pig iron an 18
Oh, my AC is 18.
hits for 2.
2 hull damage.
This one versus Solix with a club. Nah, I don't think that hits. Does it, Tom?
Doesn't quite. A bit of a tickle, that one.
Bit of a tickle. This guy is going to come in and support his friend with another club attack.
Is that emotional or?
Well, yeah, at this rate, it is.
It's an emotion. Don't worry, you'll be okay.
They both rolled the same and the same for the damage.
Yeah.
What is it? Roll 20's thing for that?
Roll 20's RNG is broken. It's just reporting the same result every time. Sure, it must be.
Shocking.
Back to the top. Solix.
Okay, let's make this happen. So Solix as. Okay, we're just gonna. Have I got 2 on me now? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the one that's right in front of me, I'm just gonna swing at. Let's hope for. Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen somehow. The one that's right in front of me, I'm just gonna swing at.
17 for 6. It does it. He gets him. He's down.
There we go. After forgetting how to use a sword, Solix then suddenly remembered that you got to use the pointy end.
Ironically, a Caspian Battle Blade doesn't actually have a pointy end.
Oh, doesn't it? Is it like flat on the top?
That's been that's Solix's problem all night. He's been trying to use pointy blade. There just isn't one.
So I've been trying to stab with it instead of slash with it.
Pretty much, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Is that you done, Solix?
Yes. I don't think I can do anything else.
This flanking Pharaoh is going to keep going round, and again, dice off. Odds is Ingo, evens is Tok. Takes a shot at Tok with his light crossbow for an 11. Tok.
No.
Ingo.
I'm gonna at this one say, I thought I told you not to shoot at Tok.
I thought you were going to say I thought I saw a putty cat.
What is happening?
I mean, at least we've got video evidence of this that I can submit to Roll20 and say, come on.
I'm gonna try again. I haven't rolled above. I haven't rolled above 4 yet.
So many crit fails in this game.
This
Game.
is
How-
insane.
How can
6
that
is
be?
the highest I've rolled this combat.
Put it this way, I'm so glad that you didn't randomly roll something slightly more dangerous.
I'm gonna put my hand on Tok and say, one of us needs to hit mate. You've got it. And
Are you inspiring him?
yeah.
Tok, bring it home.
Right. Where's he up there? Pistol, come on. Tocky lad. You can do this.
So it's bonus action reload and then shoot pistol, yes?
Yeah. I'm scared of the dice. 17 for 8 damage.
It hits and it kills.
And then action will be to reload.
Your action was to shoot.
Oh yeah, because you got one. You don't. It's one action but 2 shots.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Roger this.
Arwen.
Right, so not having done breathtakingly well, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to snatch my 2 daggers out of my belt, charge forward, and leap at this chap here.
Okay. That's a hit for 5.
And the second one.
That is unfortunately a miss.
Okay, and then I'm going to disengage using my cunning action, and I can go back 5, I think it is, in total. Yes, I did 20 and I got 5 left.
Okay. That was 10.
Was it? Yes,
That's yeah,
there you go.
5. It is his turn next. He doesn't like that, so he's going to step in and swing his club at you.
It's understandable that he didn't.
Unfortunately, he misjudged your height or lack thereof and swung above your head.
No short jokes. Steady.
This chappie's gone. So if I make too many, I'll get a clip round the ear from my wife.
Yeah.
This guy next to Solix is going to swing for Solix. I can't see the result. 22 for 2.
I'll take the 2. Ouch.
Solix, it's your turn to retaliate.
I retaliate. Come on, do more than 2. Come on, don't crit fail. You can do this, Solix.
Oh!
Yeah, crit
That's
time.
one way to do it. So 18 damage. You cleave him into head to toe or shoulder to waist.
Head,
there's a slightly-
shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
There's a slightly confused look on this pharaoh's face as the top half of the torso slides down to the ground.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Slicey. Anything else? Anyone else left? Oh yeah. So I step on this one's corpse
Yep.
and slice then that one.
And it's
And-
enough. It's enough.
There we
does
go.
it? Okay, you have successfully just dispatched these 7 pharaoh.
Not enormously reliably, but successfully.
Yeah, I mean,
Reload.
your hits could have been better.
Oh, really?
I'm-
I'm really glad there was no one else watching when like sort of like nobles that might that want to hire us as assassins or whatever. Sort of seeing the cock up we made of that.
I was legitimately going to start just rolling my own d20.
What was that for, Owen?
I'm using the healing potion that I was given, so it's 2d8. Oh no, sorry, 2d6. Sorry, can't read my own writing.
I just
2d6.
rolled my d20 and I rolled a 1. What?
And then 2d6 plus
Well,
7.
see how it's broken.
So
On your own d20. Oh
21.
no!
21. Right,
It's not just roll 20.
21.
No luck for you.
33. Okay, I'm feeling healthy again. And I've used my healing potion up I was given.
Is that the one that did the delayed effect?
Yes, I've just done both of them because we're not in combat.
Cool.
Okay, you got rid of that.
Yeah.
I'm not looking-
You're back with the cart. It's probably about midday at this point.
Just keep going
Okay.
and just keep an eye out on
Out of interest, could we have not made use of the steam jack in that situation?
Where are the rules? It takes time for the steam jack's boiler to heat up to the point where it can activate. Steam jacks. Steam engine.
We left Sebastian to look after it while we dealt with these.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It would have taken too much time to get it running. I'll find it for next time because it may become more needed in the future. But yeah, Sebastian's also the one that would control it. And given that Sebastian's not here now, whilst I say that a steam jack will defend itself if it's attacked, it just wouldn't necessarily, even if nothing's controlling it, it just wouldn't necessarily go off and do something of its own accord, but it will defend itself. So, second half of the day then, making your way through, I'm gonna ask Ingo.
Hello.
D8.
A D8. This will be the 1-8 I rolled today. 5.
Okay. A sudden dust storm blows through in the afternoon, reducing your vision to 40 feet and hampering all of your perception of the area.
It's a bit windy.
What's the track like? I mean, we're not walking along mountain cliff edges, are we? This is.
You're not on cliff edges, no. I mean, it's not necessarily the best ground, but you're not in danger of falling off a cliff.
I put my goggles on, but not activate them, just to give my eyes some protection from it.
Okay.
And then try to keep going.
You
proceed at sort of half pace, maybe, for safety.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
If you are pressing on, then can you give me Tom? Can you give me a D8, please?
Can. Oh, it's a 7.
So, in this instance, pressing on may not have been the best plan. Because of the dry and cracked earth, part of the path is decimated with massive ruts that you don't see until it's too late. Consequently, one of the wheels on the cart drops into one of these cracks and breaks, snapping the tethers and dumping the steam jack onto the ground.
Oh.
Now,
press on. Wait, hit it like blackjack. just hit me again.
Now, fortunately, you do have a spare wheel on the cart, and repairs can be made. But it does mean that that'll put an end to the day's travel. The time taken to repair it and to get everything loaded back up, it's going to take the rest of the day.
Fair enough. We've got to do what we've got to do, haven't we? So.
Well, we can't just drag it.
I mean,
what? Drag the 400-pound hammer plus multiple ton steam jack?
Yeah, I said we can't just drag it.
Yeah.
So we got to fix it. So
I mean, you're not wrong.
Never mind.
Yeah. So we'll fix, and then I don't know. Does it subside the sand cloud thing?
Yeah. By the evening, the dust storm has dissipated, and you can see and hear normally again.
Solix and Arwood, do you two want to have a nose for like a decent spot for us to leave the cart overnight again?
Okay.
Whoever finds the best spot gets 1 shiny.
He's out. He's going. He's moving at speed.
I'm going to whisper to Talk. I didn't tell him what the shiny thing was going to be.
Doesn't
Yeah.
care, it's shiny.
Go on then, survival checks then.
I think me and Todd are just watching in amusement at this.
It's like sending off 2 kids to do an Easter egg hunt, but there's no Easter eggs out there.
Do you need me to roll survival?
Yes,
Yeah.
please, Tom.
Making it happen. Sorry.
That's all right.
So survival. Oh no.
So this time, Arwen definitely finds the best spot available, whereas Solix kind of treads on his own feet while he's looking through some bushes and goes, "Is this spot any good?" As he looks down and there's a massive crack through the path, and it's right in the middle of the path as well. So again, you find a little alcove in the rock wall, a little bit more sheltered, and you manage to roll the cart, having reloaded the steam jack onto the back of it, into a reasonable place to defend. It's not the best because you didn't have the possibility of venturing too far, but it's a pretty good spot.
Arwen stood in front of Ingo and just goes,
And I'll use that to make something shiny appear and just go and tell you it was going to be real. It's just really shiny.
Got him.
So, obviously, without my comrades knowing, I am going to subject Ingo to an acquisition process and remove any gold that he's carrying on his person.
That's good.
Or anything of value that, because he's not going to be out, he's not going to be done. He needs his shiner. You should have played fair.
You liberate 5 gold pieces from
Super.
Ingo.
5 gold. 5 gold. 5 gold.
I didn't mean to click that, by the way. Honestly, I didn't mean to click that.
Punish him. Punish him.
So, I'll take it back. No.
So, who's on watch?
Realizing going through my pen now, I'm not going to do that. Who wants to do the long shift?
I'll do it. It's all right.
You sure?
Yeah, I've got us into this mess.
That's all right. Alright. Yeah. Well, Tok, do you want to do a shift for me again?
I'll do a shift with you. Yeah, go on.
Ah, nice one.
Okay, so give me perception checks. Eyes well peeled there, Solix.
I'm famously perceptive.
It's about
Famously
right.
peel eyes.
The rolled about as right as today is going.
It's fine, Ingo. I've got a good eye.
Well, this time, Ingo and Tokka are the opposite of last time. So, Jace, you're the only one who hasn't rolled yet. Do you want to give me a D8?
D8.
Yes, please.
You're prepping yourself.
It's only
If you're on a
squashed
7 again, if you're on a 7 again, does it mean that the wheel falls off again?
Oh,
I think, to be fair, I think the wheels have fallen off after the fifth 4 ones.
That would have been so unlucky.
However, it would have been so just perfect for tonight's session.
Typical
wouldn't
for this session, yeah.
it? Okay. Who had first watch?
Tok and Ingo.
The two of you, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Tok, then you hear a rumble off up above you that sounds suspiciously like a rather large movement of boulders rolling down the hill.
I think we need to move quick.
Yeah.
I said I think we need to move quick.
Okay, we're moving quick.
So, everybody give me Dex saves, except Arwin and Solix, you're at disadvantage.
I'll do, pig. I'll do.
I'm impressed.
I'm gonna get hit with some stones.
Okay. Turns out only Tok was dexterous enough to avoid all of the falling rocks, so takes half the damage. Everybody else takes 7. Tok, you take 3.
Oh, I think I can cope with it.
So we're about to go to sleep talk.
And however, the rest, I realise I just made you guys apply damage, but the rest of the night goes without incident, and you wake up in the morning fully refreshed, having had a long rest.
Nice.
Ow. Anyway.
Ow, time for bed. I've been hit on the head with a load of rocks. Time to go to sleep.
What's
Best
the
thing
thing to do a long rest? Slash.
It's no exclamation mark long rest, and then your character's name, your character's full name.
Just copy and paste off the character sheet.
Is it all? Do I have a space in there or not?
So there's no space between long rest and the beginning of your name, but if there's a space in your name, then yes, include that. But you can, as Owen said, you just copy and paste your character's name.
Didn't work. It's fine. I need.
If you don't see anything, it's worked.
But it
If you
worked.
see an error, it hasn't worked.
Basically, yes. Okay. Looking at what's coming up next, into day 3 in the Tuskboard Trail. The fact that I was up until 4 AM last night, and the fact that I'm up at 8 AM in the morning, I think if it's alright with everybody, we'll call it around about here, and we will resume with day 3 with other Tom next time, so that there's so that you're all there. Does that work for everyone?
Find someone to drive the steam jack. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Awesome. Right then, thank you very much indeed, everybody in the chat, for sticking with us. We will be here again, hopefully this time next week. We don't have any other streams on the channel at the moment, Tom, is that correct? We're just...
That's correct for the time being. The things, there will be things coming back again soon, but for the time being, we're just having to take a bit of a short break from it. So, due to looking after children over the summer holidays.
Awesome. And I finally managed to get episode 13 onto my computer. It was downloading during the beginning of the session, so I will get episodes 13 to 19 uploaded onto YouTube at the beginning of next week, or over the weekend, depending on when I can snatch some time, so that those who have joined us later on can finish catching up with the story so far.
Cool.
Thank you very much indeed, everyone. We will catch you next week. Cheers for watching. Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye.